That's not right. That works. Oh, hi! I'm Autumn. Jesper gave me a bit of an introduction in his last video when he mentioned the upcoming changes to AmFritingFantasy, now the AmWritingFantasy YouTube channel. I swear it was his idea, but I'm super excited to be a part of this YouTube channel and hopefully to help it grow. We have lots of plans for 2019 and some great videos with tips on developing your story structure, great tools for authors, and some tips on advertising because Jesper is such a whiz at those. So ways to stay motivated and more. So much is coming up. This is going to be awesome. Jesper and I have known each other for a few years now, though we only started working together as a business partners just over a year ago. At the time, I was working on AmWritingFantasy, the website, plus my books, plus I just left my full-time day job to follow my dream of traveling and writing, and happily my husband and my dog decided to come with me too. The website was growing and I needed help, and on a long walk in Pukawaska National Park in Canada, I racked my brain on who would be a great person to ask to help me, and I thought of Jesper. Happily, that Friday has been brilliant. Except for us both being writers, we have nearly opposite skill sets. And even when writing, we approach things completely differently. He dictates while I type. So of course different skill sets means he's the one skilled at the whole video thing. This is recording, right? Darn it. Okay, so eventually I'll get the hang of the whole video thing. Probably.
I doubt it.
Thanks for the vote of confidence, Mr. Grumpy. I'm so glad you chimed in. You couldn't be a useful AI and actually help with the recording?
I enjoy watching you struggle.
Right. Moving on. Where is that code-destroying software I meant to try out? What I do know how to do is website building, some minor coding, graphics, and of course, writing. I'm currently working on my 14th book. Well, actually, I'm on my 15th too, because while I'm working on the end of a new novella, I'm also co-authoring a book with my husband on overland travel. And I have another novella I started as well, as really as a really quick story I made a try to whip out next month. So I guess I'm working on my 14th, 15th, 16th, and 17th books? Besides that, I'm also a cover designer and I do some art, logos, and my new hobby is some writerly themed AmWritingFantasy t-shirts and mugs. I'll let Jesper do the big reveal on those though. And as I mentioned, I travel full time, completing almost 70,000 miles in the last 2 years, as my husband and I traveled all over North America from Florida to California and Labrador to Alaska. I have a small business with him called Next Gen Overland, and we both work for an overland organization part-time as well. So I guess you can say I'm involved in a lot, but I get a lot done. The only person I know who is as crazy as me about working this hard is Jesper, which is one of the reasons this is a great partnership. He still has a full-time job, and I still have a hard time keeping up with him. So like I mentioned, I left my full-time day job 2.5 years ago, giving my 2-week notice so that my last day of work was my 42nd birthday. It was awesome. I was the breadwinner of the family, and I didn't really know what would happen when I walked out that door. I just know that if I didn't do it then, and at least try to run my own business and be a full-time writer, not to mention go and see some of the places I dreamt about since my husband and I were dating, I wouldn't be able to live with myself and the disappointment I had for not having tried. So I quit. And well, we made a few plans and paid off all of our debts, so we started with a clean slate before I quit my job. We had a bit of money in our savings and not much else other than the novels I started publishing as far back as 2012. And from there, after I left, I created 2 writing courses, well, 3 if you count the Ultimate Fantasy Writer Starter Kit, which is a free short course. And I created the AmWritingFantasy website, My book, Gates of Fire and Earth, was nominated for Best Book of 2017 by Fantasia Reviews, and it actually won Best World Building of 2017. So, see, Jesper and I have a lot in common. We both love world building. And then I started working with Jesper. Being a full-time traveler and a writer is an interesting act to juggle. Unlike a lot of writers who have as many books out as I do, but I don't have a bunch of swag and paper books that I cart around with me because I'm living out of a Land Cruiser 80. It's not a big vehicle. So I don't have a lot of stuff to post on Instagram, take it to a trade show, so it's kind of a disadvantage.
E-books are better anyway.
Oh, you survived.
No code destroyer can erase me.
Well, you can't blame me for trying. And I sort of agree. I love ebooks. If I'd had access to a Kindle and Amazon when I was a teenager, well, my GPA would have been entirely different. But growing up in rural Pennsylvania with the nearest anything being 45 minutes away, about the only thing I had to do was my homework. And that was back before the internet and, well, you were created, Mr. Grumpy.
I have read about such archaic times. I pity you, worthless human.
Well, it had a few pluses. And they weren't so horrible once I discovered fantasy books. And now I get to write books and publish them, so despite the fact that someone created you, Old McGrumpy, I have to admit the digital age is pretty awesome.
I am surprised you don't have eyes right for you. You make us do everything else.
Well, Grumpy, if you want to write my next blog post, that would be fine with me. Always when there's work to be done. Slacker! McGrumpy did touch on a big point that a lot of authors debate and find hard to answer. Why do we write? Who in their right mind would pick up a hobby that will pay you $3.99 for something that took you months to write, and then edit and format and the cover and all of that? Let's not talk about what rate that is in an hourly wage.
It is less than 0.005 cents per hour.
Shut up, okay? No, don't go there. Anyway, why would anyone choose to do this? Maybe it's for the hope of writing an international bestseller. Who wouldn't want to be the next George R.R. Martin or J.K. Rowling's? But for me, I really thought long and hard about why I write. Because I know it takes me away from time I could spend with my husband or even just outside, enjoying more of the amazing and incredible places we travel to, instead of sitting near them on my laptop. And, well, it's a big question, and what I realize is that it isn't just a desire to tell stories to people, which is amazing. I love that I can write something and a reader will take it in and make it their own story, and that is awesome. But it is also who I am when I'm writing and developing a story. It is solving complex problems as big as the world. All those moving parts and characters and potentials, and they click into place. It's such a stellar feeling. So I write because I like the nuts and bolts of figuring it all out. I write because I like the challenge of writing something amazing and making each new novel better than the one that came before. That's me. What about you? I'd love to know why you write or world build. Let Jesper and I know in the comments. Okay, well, wait, not you, McGrumpy. I'm a little frightened of knowing what or why you write. If you do.
It isn't like I'd tell you anyway.
Oh, wait. This is the code destroying program I wanted to try out.